Hello there, hi, and this is another Call of Duty Heroes video. Let's just take a quick look about the basics about this new game from Activision that takes the COD franchise to a different, um, well, different way from the typical FPS that they're normally in. So this is more of a similar interface to that of Clash of Clans, Boom Beach. So if you played those games, you would know the basic premise. You would build a base out of resources that are provided initially. So you build and then you train your troops and you use those to complete missions, attack other players, and rank up accordingly. So um, with this game, there are two main resources, mainly gold and oil. Later on, you would have access to a third resource, which is called diamonds. And there's also a premium resource called Celerium. It's used to buy builders and speed up things. Like, let's take a look at my base. There are a handful of items here that, like, if you, it's currently upgrading, you have the option to accelerate or finish the progress by paying 16 Solarium, but I'm not gonna do that. You can also add builders. By default, you only start with one, but they provide you with another enough Solarium initially to buy another one. So you basically have two, and then you try to earn enough Solarium. You buy or earn enough Solarium to get more builders to make it easier for you to progress. So the main building is the command center, currently at level 3 at this stage. This is the heart of your base where builders come from. It's also the main hub and determines up to what structures you can build and upgrade it to what level. Um, just just to give that a, like, some structures here can only be built at a certain level, like heavy machine facilities can only be built at level 6 and up, level 7 and up, right there. So that gives you the limit as to what structures you can have at that point of the game, to put it simply. um, as I mentioned, gold and oil are the two main resources that you'll initially have. You can obtain them by mining them. The use of oil pumps here, oil pumps, gold miners, and they are stored in these structures called oil depots, right there, and the gold depot right there. So there are barriers. These are walls that you need to build. There are also different structures as well. So let's go through it one by one. This is the deployment yard. This dictates the amount of troops that you can have at any given time for use with your missions and when you're attacking other players. So let's take a look at this. Like right now, my maximum is at 35 spaces, not units, because each unit has a specific defined number of housing units occupied for each piece. So currently I'm maximized at 35 unit spaces. It shows you which units are currently occupying your base. To train those units, you would need a training compound. So this is where it is. It gives you a list of different troops that you can train at this point. It also tells you, it also shows you the number of training compounds you currently have. In this case, I have 2. You can switch between them so that you can split accordingly the troops that you would be training so that it would finish faster. Here here we have the ballistics lab. This is where you upgrade your troops for increased damage, increased hit points, just to give it an upper hand when you're facing off against opponents. So, like right now, I have upgraded my assault unit, and it says that I need to upgrade the ballistics lab if I want to upgrade it further. This is my juggernaut. Let's go ahead and try to initiate an upgrade. There you go. In 25 minutes. If I wanted to finish immediately, I can spend 7 Solarium, but we're not going to do that for now. So, you could each base has a different set of, not different, a set amount of defense structures, which you need to place strategically to cover your base, and ensure that all points are covered, at least the ones that are important to you. So there you go. These are the sentry gun. I'm also building another here. It's called a guardian turret, and there's another one in the tabs here that I haven't built yet because I don't have an available builder. It's called a SAM turret that focuses mainly on air units. So there you go. And on each base, there surrounding, if this is the full-on look of your immediate environment, you can only build within your square. Everything else beside it, like these spaces or these spaces, are not really relevant in any way whatsoever. So for now, there's also another structure here that I forgot. This is called the communication center. This is where you build alliances with other players, wherein you can form groups that would allow you to request for assistance, allow you to build friendships, I guess, if you could call it that. But mainly, it allows you to establish a team within the game. Sort of like what a clan is to Clash of Clans. So, around the structure, around your base, are structures, trees, and other impediments that you need to remove if you are to build the base the way you want to, in order to place your barriers effectively. So things like trees cost 200 oil to remove. It would require you a builder to do that. You know, a destroyed APC. It gives, every time you remove one of those, gives you a set amount of resources, experience, and sometimes, if you're lucky, a little bit of Solarium as well. Let's try one. I realized that there's a builder available. There you go. Remove debris will reward leader XP and randomly drop Solarium. Let's try that. As you can see, there is a timer as to how long it would take to complete that task. So there's also music in the game. I just opted to not put it in. There are randomly passing aircraft, but that's not really something that you need to worry about. It's just additional effects. So in the interface, on the upper middle portion, center middle portion, you can see the amount of gold that you have and the amount of oil that you have as it relates to the current maximum that you could obtain. On the upper right shows the amount of Solarium you have, followed by the number of hours of shield you currently have. That allows you to build accordingly. There you go. It gave us a handful of Solarium, a little bit of experience. So, um, going back, so the upper right shows the amount of Solarium we have, followed by the number of hours we have left on the shield. This prevents other players from attacking us. However, that would get removed the moment you attack another player. And then the third one would be the number of builders that you have available as opposed to the number of total builders you currently own. So from there, there's also another tab here for inventory, which have the number of boosts that you have. Like here, I have a boost for gold production for 7 days, which which is a good amount, but I don't need it at the moment. So it's that. Shows you the achievements that you have, the ones that you need to do based on your progression on the game and other things. Battle reports, attacks and defend logs, leaderboards. There you go. So here in Call of Duty Heroes, of course, there would be, aside from the troops that you have, there are also heroes. Initially, you would be included with price, which are heroes that you level up. They have different skills, different abilities as well. And the good thing here is these are the only heroes that you can control after they get deployed. This makes it a little bit different compared to Clash of Clans, wherein the moment you deploy those heroes, you can't really control their direction, so they may get sidetracked from what you want them to do. Here in COD Heroes, you can control their direction. We'll do a quick mission. We'll do a quick single player mission to show that. So, lastly, there's a structure here called the landing zone. It doesn't really affect anything in the game except for bonuses. It gives this structure gives you a set amount of bonuses every 12 hours, I believe. You will spin a roulette of sorts that has a list of potential rewards that you can get. So that's that. So anyway, let's move on, and I need oil, obviously, so let's go attack, and let's go do a campaign mission. As you can see, I've done the first set, which is in South America. There we go, 3 missions. I'm currently in the Middle East, and there are 3 more sets. Let's do mission 3. Deploy. Okay, it's gonna go into scouting. So as you can see here, this is a simple base. There are 3 sentry turrets. Their resources are clearly outlined. And in this case, I'm going to be using these juggernauts, which are mainly defensive units and focuses on the enemy's defensive structures. Take a look. So they would prioritize the structures accordingly, unlike these marines that would attack whichever comes first. And this is your hero that you can deploy. There you go. Let's go wherever you need it to be. It's all a matter of cleanup and
On my way.
so that's it. It's fairly straightforward. There are other advanced tactics that are included in the battlefield, like airstrikes or other support mechanisms, but those go later on that you don't need to concern initially. So, anyway, I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Give it a thumbs down if you disliked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content on this channel. And that's it. I hope you have a great weekend and you keep on playing.